This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Yo, what up though, people? Like to welcome you back to the Keep It a C Note podcast. As always, I am your boy Brown. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. This your first time tuning in. Salute to you. Please do me a favor. Make sure you hit the sub button. Everybody that's tuned in, please hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell so you can stay notified when we drop new content. And don't be afraid to leave a comment. If you agree with something, you disagree with something, you want to correct me on something, or if you just want to call me a Oouuber, let me know in the comments. Just make sure you keep it a C note. And please share this video with someone that likes to talk sports and entertainment just like you, so that we can all talk that talk together. Funniest thing I've seen so far this week, it has to be Irv Gotti on Drink Champs, trying to explain why he thinks he lost signing Nas. He said he was in the studio fried one night, and he told them he wanted to throw a concert, and after the shows, they would take tour buses and fancy cars and ride through the hood. Hoods like Baltimore, just interacting with the people. So Nas telling him, bro, we could get smoked. We can get killed. He says, then we'll be martyrs. Yeah, that's a funny story. But I'm pretty sure that Nas didn't realize nothing that day but that them E-pills had Irv Gotti gone. Irv had lost his mind. Here's the thing, Irv Gotti. Nas played chess with you guys. Nas is from Queensbridge. You're from Queens. Nas is beefing with a guy from Brooklyn who is your homie. You don't think Nas knew that you backed Jay-Z on the Super Ugly track? Pause. Even though it didn't put a dent in Nas's armor, you don't think that he felt some type of way that you'd roll with the outside on it? He knew his enemy. He knew if I deal with Irv Gotti, Jay ain't gonna deal with him no more. And at the same time, Irv Gotti running around thinking I'm signing to Murder Inc. is nothing but promo for me. Checkmate. A blind man can see that. Irv Gotti, if you really believe that some dumb tour you talked about while you was E'd up is the reason why Nas didn't sign to Murder Inc., and you should be a prime example why kids should just say no, I'm just keeping it a C note. We recently had Steph Curry. He was asked, was he the greatest point guard of all time? And he said yes. He said it's only him and Magic up there. He gave Magic all type of shout outs. Keep it a C note. What's your thoughts on it? Has Steph Curry passed Magic Johnson? Yes, no. Let me know. Listen, I want to start off by saying Steph Curry, since he came into the NBA, he's been my favorite player in the league. But he has not passed Magic Johnson on any list. Magic Johnson won a championship as a rookie. Magic Johnson has more rings, more MVPs, more finals MVPs. I'm keeping it a C note. Steph has done a lot, and it may be a conversation for him being second. It may not be, but I know he ain't over Magic. Magic is still one. I'm just keeping it a C note. But again, what's your thoughts on it? Has Steph Curry done enough to be considered the greatest point guard of all time? I say no. Do you agree with me? Should you call me a Oouuber? Keep it a C note. Let me know. How about FIBA basketball? We got Anthony Edwards. He's basically taking over the team. He's the guy that's getting talked about. What's your thoughts? Is this the year Anthony Edwards hits superstar status? Yes, no, keep it a C note. I say yes, yes, yes. I knew Anthony Edwards was going to be a superstar. That's why I said on the episode before free agency started that the Sixers needed to contact Minnesota and try to do whatever they can do to get Anthony Edwards. It's too late now. It's too late now. Let me ask you this, though. You got Gobert. You got Anthony Edwards. You got Karl Anthony Towns. It's been Karl Anthony Towns' team for some years. Is it time to move on from Karl Anthony Towns and hand the team over to Anthony Edwards? Yes, no, keep it a C note, let me know. Also, Bill Simmons, he recently said that Portland should trade Dame straight up for Karl Anthony Towns and let it be Dame, Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert. How y'all feel about that? Karl Anthony Towns for Damian Lillard. Y'all like that? Yes or no? Keep it a C note. Listen, I love Dame, but pause. Anthony Edwards, up-and-coming young superstar. He don't need to be on the team with nobody like Dame. Like, let Anthony Edwards get his chance to shine. Get him a couple of young pieces over there with him and Gobert, and you got something going on. I'm going to let y'all in on a secret. It's a new day coming up in the NBA. The West, when you look at the West, you got LeBron. Them guys are getting older. LeBron is getting older. You got Anthony Davis. He's always hurt. Kevin Durant and them guys are older. We don't know what Luke and Kyrie is going to look like. The Western Conference, not just this year, the next couple years, is going to be wide open. Get Anthony Edwards some good role players and let this guy take over. I'm just keeping it a C note. Listen, before we got to wrap up the top 10 list and all of that, I just gave y'all the edge rushers. I just gave you linebackers. I'm going to give you my top 10 defensive tackles. I'm going to give you my top 5 defensive tackles coming into the season. I may need a Oouuber. You never know. At 5, I'm going Jeffrey Simmons from Tennessee. Took a step back last year, but I still got him as top 5. At 4, I'm going Quentin Williams, New York Jets. He's definitely a monster, a young player that's getting busy. At 3, I'm going Dexter Lawrence, New York Giants. Dexter Lawrence is a monster. He's one of them young pups on the rise. At 2, I'm going Chris Jones, Kansas City Chiefs. Chris Jones is a monster. If Aaron Donald didn't exist, Chris Jones would have been the best defensive tackle in the league for years now, maybe. I'm just keeping it a C note. Other than, I don't know. Shout out Geno. Geno was a monster too. But at 1, I'm going to Aaron Donald, LA Rams. Aaron Donald is got a year older. He's coming back off injury, but he's still the best defensive tackle in the league. I'm just keeping it a C note. But again, people, what's your thoughts? Right now, coming into the season, who's the top 5 defensive tackles in the NFL? Keep it a C note. Let me know. Eagles fans, don't do it. Don't y'all do it. I'm just keeping it a C note. Last week of preseason, and then football is amongst us. Are you ready for the NFL season this year, people? Keep it a C note. Have you learned anything from your team? Watching the first couple of preseason games? Yes, no. Let me know. Me personally with the Rams, I haven't learned anything because I don't know who's starting, who's not starting. Most of the starters ain't played. I'm hearing good things and drills and all of that and scrimmages against other teams. But again, we haven't seen nothing from McVay. What's your thoughts, though, people? Again, have you seen anything from your team in preseason? Do you like what you're seeing? Yes, no. Keep it a C note. How about Jonathan Taylor? Jonathan Taylor given permission to seek a trade. Who should trade for Jonathan Taylor? Let me know. I'm going to keep it a C note. I'm off on Jonathan Taylor as a Rams fan. We already know he going to want paper. Not unless he just going to come in here on a 1-year prove-it deal. I'm cool on Jonathan Taylor, especially with the picks they're asking for. I'm just keeping it a C note. But again, what's your thoughts on it? Who should trade for Jonathan Taylor? Let me know. Again, Eagles fans, knock it off, would you? Shout out to everybody from last week's episode. We put up a post about the Doggystyle album not being a classic. Got a lot of people that called me Oubers. They called me haters. They called me a couple other things I don't care to repeat. Shout out to them. No, always appreciate the feedback. Here's the thing. First of all, when we go back to that G-Funk intro, right? Because I had people telling me, oh, down there they wasn't playing it, but in the South and the West, they were playing it. This is my thing. If G-Funk intro was that hot, everybody would have been talking about that song. If you ask about a Rage song, everybody's going to say Afro Puffs. That's for one. For two, if the song was any type of hot, Rage would have had an album. She's the only one that didn't put an album out. Look at the Dog Pound. They was all over Doggystyle too. They got an album that came out. Rage John was just a filler, something that hopefully people will vibe to Rage. I'm just keeping it a C note. And yeah, shout out to Doggystyle. It's definitely a great album. Definitely not a classic album. It's not even a top 2 Deathrow album of all time, in my opinion. I mean, I know some people going to say Doggystyle was better than Chronic, but no, it's not. Just go listen to the two. It's way different, 2 different vibes, but Dre and them, they was on some get money. I mean, not get money, but they was still on that gangster NWA wave. The beats hit a little harder, like Snoop and them, they sound like they was just high, chilling in there. But that's the 3rd greatest album of all time from Deathrow. I'm just keeping it a C note. It's not top 2 album. It's not a classic. Since I'm saying it's not top 3, I will say Tupac, All Eyes on Me is the greatest album from Deathrow. And it's a double CD. The 2nd greatest John is The Chronic. And then number 3, you got Snoop Dogg, Doggystyle. There's no way around that. I mean, if you want to flip the two, in no way, shape, or form is Doggystyle better than All Eyes on Me. You know what I mean? But I think more so because shout out to Vito, shout out to John. We've had this episode before, and somebody recently commented on the Doggystyle saying how they took a lot of stuff and, you know what I mean, got a lot of help on that album. But like I've been told Vito and them, Dr. Dre was the guy behind that machine. Why if Doggystyle is a classic and Snoop has rapped all these years since, why hasn't Snoop had another album like Doggystyle? I'll tell you why, because Dr. Dre was the brains behind that. And we ain't gonna say no because just look at it. Anybody know anything from the Dogfather album? He did drop, or is that what it's even called? What's the album he dropped after Dre left? Did you listen to that Snoop Dogg album? He was still on Deathrow. He was still talking that West Coast gangbang stuff. Most people didn't catch that album. You know why? Because Dre was gone by then. I'm just keeping it a C note. But again, I appreciate the feedback from everybody. But y'all should let me know. What's the greatest 3 albums ever put out by Deathrow Records? Let me know in the comments. Just make sure you keep it a C note, please. I'm about to wrap this episode up. I do appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, if this is your first time tuning in, salute to you. Please do me a favor. Make sure you hit the sub button. Everybody that's tuned in, please hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell so you can stay notified when we drop new content. And don't be afraid to leave a comment. You agree with something, you disagree with something, you want to correct me on something, or if you just want to call me a Uber, let me know in the comments. Just make sure you keep it a C note. And please share this video with someone that likes to talk sports and entertainment just like you, so that we can all talk that talk together. As always, I am your boy Brown. Please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell everybody. Keep it a C note. I holla at y'all.
This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da.